Cinephile ASMR, and today we are talking about Mamoru Hosada's Belle. Belle is set in a world quite similar to ours, where an app called You is the newest craze. This app allows its user to assume an entirely new digital identity in an open world where you can interact, comment, share, and be whoever it is you want. And this is where we are introduced to the main character, Suzu, who is having a lot of difficulty in her own world and uses You as an escape. There she is able to vocalize her passion for singing and gains an immense following, but with that she is introduced to one of the most hardened individuals wreaking havoc in this digital space, but their relationship is kindled and sparks a whole path of craziness and self-discovery. My relationship with anime is immeasurably light. It has been a realm and a space that I've wanted to just immerse myself into time and time again, but I have yet to actually make that leap. There are plenty of anime out there that I love, but I have yet to call myself an anime enthusiast. So this was my very first anime that I've ever seen on the big screen. I saw it in a very small theater with one other person. And straight out the gate, this is one of the greatest pieces of animation I have ever watched. Truthfully, animation is one of the most fascinating art forms out there. It really just requires so much out of someone. I mean, with filmmaking, while I'm recording this, I'm not having to stringently worry about every single second, millisecond grain. I just set things up, I shoot, and I go for it. But with animation, literally every finite detail, every granule of sand, every hair follicle has to be rendered. And that is something that I will forever have an immense appreciation for. With this love that I had watching Belle, watching this story unfold from a visual perspective, I was in serene heaven. It felt like I was being feathered with palm leaves and fed grapes. I felt like I was in royalty. This is a master at work. Mamoru Hosada is a filmmaker and an animator that I have never seen any of his films. The Boy and the Beast, Wolf Children, The Girl Who Leapt Through Time, nothing. But I have known of his track record, and this film opened my eyes to the versatility in the animation category, because it isn't a genre. I hate that misconception, because animation is simply just a vessel to create a story. These stories can span from horror, comedy, action, romance, and Belle is a practical little bit of everything. And one of the most immediate things aside from this gorgeous animation was how much time you get to spend on Suzu, the main character. There is a lot of things that are going on within her transformative years of youth going into adulthood, and this film takes such care and craft to really depict why she is feeling these ways. And I went in not knowing anything about this movie, but this is a lot, and I will refrain from getting into the really heavy details of it all. But in just under 2 hours, Belle is many movies at one. It is a finding your own self-discovery movie. It is a discussion about this digital landscape that we are all living in. It is a story about grief, denial, and how we are able to act on a daily basis through our past grievances, and so much more. Now, don't be fooled there, folks. Belle is quite literally also a musical, as what I wasn't ready for, this being a classic retelling of the Beauty and the Beast storyline. If Belle wasn't enough for you as an indicator of that, but I was also kind of worried because I did know that, and I was wanting it to be its own thing, and this was its own beating, alive individual, and Belle was a musical that I was floored by. I've expressed my adoration for musicals, but there is 2 tracks in this that particularly have been on repeat multiple times throughout my days after I saw this. And if you might be wondering, well, Cinephile ASMR, do I check out the dub or or the sub. I saw the subtitle version, as I will forever think that is what the original Japanese animators and creators have made it into. I will always support that, but surprisingly, the dub and the music that I listened were spot on A1 sauce, and I loved them both very much. Seriously though, it's from the music to the animation to this very intimate story of following a young high schooler's journey into adolescence and adulthood and finding herself in a world so digital. And this is something that has been a growing trend as of recent. Directors and filmmakers and artists talking and commentating on the digital sphere, which we are immersed into more and more throughout time. And something I've never really resonated with, maybe it's because the age difference from these creatives critiquing on a time that they are around but have not been growing up with. It's always cynical, it's always with a pessimistic viewpoint, and it isn't always like that. Now mind you, cyberbullying and all the things that come with it is immense responsibility. This thing that I'm recording on can be a means to uplift, but it could also tear down. And Belle finds this line that it walks on, this tightrope game, where it does critique as Belle, this Suzu, this alias that she uses as Belle, is able to sing and be vocal and escape the life that she is living for this virtual one. And she is expressive of that musical side to herself, but with that comes the criticisms, comes the hate, comes the negativity out of insecurity of oneself. But by the end, you realize this is a beautiful tale about the power and responsibility of technology, but what can happen when you communally do it for good, the power that is held within this growing time of our world that can be so grim, but the unbridled and insatiable beauty found within communal coming together, and how you can't find yourself just on your own, but with the power of other people. And Mamoru Hosoda has crafted a brilliant work of art that does so much, has so much beauty and love, and it's no wonder that I got a 10-minute standing ovation at its premiere. I wept, I was gone. There was two moments, two scenes near the end where just thinking about them makes me kind of emotional, and I felt bad, but it was just this moment that I will never forget theatrically going to a movie to see. It wasn't in IMAX, it wasn't in the best sound system, it was in a very small theater, and it was just me and one other person, but it was the movie, the art on display, and how it was this cramped theater for an intimate story that meant such an intimate moment for me, and I will never forget it. This being a 2022 release for the US, I don't know how it's going to be rivaled, quite frankly. Gosh, from the music to the main character to the passion and artistry on display down to the message of this movie, whether or not you're watching this as I'm recording it, it really is a love letter to what can happen when you take a brilliant piece of creation such as technology and turn it for the better. And I resonated with this tale so heavily, not just because of the animation, not just because of the wonderful score vocally and compositionally, but because this is a time where movies like this are so integral. It is a terrific course correction if you're having a bad day or a bad week or a bad month, that you're not alone. Yes, there will be the comments. Yes, there will be the negative abyss that is going to try to drag you, of people tearing you down. But throughout it all, moments like these, intimate stories, me recording a video about a passionate film that is just so timely to you, the viewer. I can't see you directly, but I feel you. I feel this presence, this aura, and it's so strong. And this movie just bottled that. I certainly know I'm kind of divulging into other things aside from this movie, but it really is within the parameters of it. And that's the power of art. It sparks discourse, it sparks discussion, and it is a gentle reminder of the beauty that this world has. And Belle, through its animation, through its story, through its heart breaking and mending to me and the attachments that you can gain from it, not just from me, but for you. I think it's why this will stand the test of time and be such a bona fide classic going forward. It is now what I hopefully can consider a gateway into Japanese animation, and I hope it will be for you too. Whether you see it dubbed, subbed, please just go check out this one-of-a-kind movie. It takes a classic such as Beauty and the Beast, but sets it within the modern digital age, and with that you get a cacophony milkshake of glorious, timely messages. I seriously loved it. Please let me know what you thought down below. Do you have any anime recommendations for me? Shows, movies? I got a ton. I mean, that bad boy right there, Cowboy Bebop, is one of the greatest things I've ever seen, and it further just proves that animators do it like nobody else. Nobody. If I think it's a hard time, I could only imagine the cells and the frames that they create. It's a craftsmanship that just makes me realize that every role in life has its purpose. With all that said, let me know what you thought of Belle down below. I seriously was not expecting for it to hit such an integral chord in me, but hey, that's the beauty of art. Gosh, I just wanted to thank you all so much for giving me an opportunity to vocalize my passion for a medium that is just ever evolving. I freaking love you guys so much. I'm always here for you, just like you've been for me. Take one day at a time, everybody, and remember to take life one frame at a time.